Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today is aiming. And what I see a lot of the time when I go on the golf course, it's probably the biggest area people struggle with. So what we're going to do today is a little bit use what a tour player would do to help them aim. We're going to go through two different ways you can do it. I'm a massive believer in this game. There's not just one way to play this game. And as I do more and more videos, it's interesting how people have in their minds, they think there's only one way to do it. So we're going to give you a couple of options here of how you can aim better and focus like a tour player does. Now, what I see when people walk, we're on the second tee here at Corinthians, and let's just go through what I see regularly with the amateur golfer. And the amateur golfer will tee it up, they've decided on the club, all good at this point, and they'll probably come up beside the ball and they'll look where they want to go, and they'll have a practice swing and they'll check where they want to go, and then when they put the club behind the ball, it's amazing how often they never look at the intended target again. And as they're gradually getting more sort of into their setup position, they may now be aiming incorrectly. So you may make a good swing, and then your playing partners go, well, you aimed right, that's why you hit it there. So it's really, really important. What a tour player does is a tremendous amount of focus on where he wants to go. He wants to see that ball end up as close to the target as possible. So the biggest thing, might sound strange I'm going to say, but look where you're going. Now, there are two methods, okay? I'm going to give you what I would say most people know as a method, and a lot of tour players like Nicklaus, Greg Norman, players like that used to use this method, and it works very, very well. Then I'm actually going to give you my method, which is slightly different, but I find it works well for me. So we're giving you two options, and if you find one of them works better than the other, then that's absolutely fine. Work on what you want to do. So what you tend to find with, let's say, Nicklaus, he would have his aim point, he'd come back here, look down the line, and he picks up generally 3 points on the line of his shot. He'll pick up a point directly in line with the ball within the first sort of foot 18 inches. Then he'll pick up another spot around about 6 feet in front, and then he'll pick up the target where he wants to go. And the important thing to understand, it's not always the flag. This might be a point left of the hole and the ground might kick it in, or it might be right, or it might be because of the wind. So they're sort of relative to where they feel they should aim for the shot that they're playing in front of them. And I think that's the important thing. So you'll see, if you ever watch Nicklaus closely and you watch what he's doing, he will aim his club down, he'll check it, he'll check that point, he'll check it again where he wants to go, he'll bring his body in, and by doing that, it gives him this nice sort of parallel position, the line where he feels he's going to swing the club to hit it in the intended target. But I would see is a tour player will probably look on average something between 4 to 6 times where they actually want to go. I think that's the important thing to understand. So they're not just walking up and generally aiming where they want to go, they're making sure they are aiming where they want to go. So club, point just in front, second point, as they're getting their body right, you can see his head coming up, checking it, you'll see his eyes, check it from there, and then from that position, if he's happy, then he'll go ahead and make the swing and hit it down towards the intended target that he wants to go. Okay? But the biggest thing that we're showing you there is he's got a routine that he feels then he knows he's aiming correctly. So that's probably, I would say, the one you more than anybody tend to know that sort of idea as they're going through. Okay? Here's my way I do it. And I'm going to explain why I do it the way I do it. And what I do is I always relate to where I want the ball to land or the intended target in the distance. And the reason for that is what I found when I related to something here, if I was slightly out, by the time it carried on to the intended target, it was way out. Okay, so that's what I found for me. So I found it was better for me that I picked, so in this case, let's say I'm going straight at the flag, I would aim directly straight at the flag stick, nothing else. That's where I'm going on this particular shot. So that's what worked for me. Again, I'd come back here, look down the line, I would come in, but again, I'd still have those checkpoints. So I'd go number 1, club face to flag. 2, as I bring my body in, is everything still club face to flag. 3, double check it again, make sure. So again, unlike the amateur who I said doesn't really look at where they're going, I've had 3 checkpoints there before I make the swing. All right, so let's see if we can do that again. See if we can get this ball on the green. So relating to my flag, if I'm slightly out down that end, I'm going to be slightly out. That's what works for me. Club face, body check, double check everything. Once I'm happy, make the swing. And on both occasions, both balls have gone nice and straight, exactly what I wanted to achieve. Okay, my one there, with my lines ended up about 2 feet away, the other one around about 25 feet away. But I'd be happy with both shots. And probably because that's the routine I'm used to, the swing became a little bit more freely to do that. Now, that can sometimes feel quite easy. We're on a tee box here, which is pointing us generally down the line we want to go. I know sometimes you walk onto a tee box and it's not pointing where you want to go, but on this occasion it is. Okay, so that made it a little bit easier. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and put ourselves in the middle of a fairway, where again it may be not quite so easy, and it's down to me to make sure that I am aiming correctly towards the intended target. But use the same process, use those same ideas. And again, the idea of my lesson is always to get a consistent process in your mind so you know what to do. So whether it's that intermediate point where you pick a spot in front, another one in front, then the target, or like me, you just pick the target. As long as you focus on it and relate to it, you've got a chance. But let's go and have a look, if we're in the middle of a fairway, how we can do it from that point. So here's our second shot. We're now looking at sort of a 5-iron shot into a green, over a pond, but we're all talking about aim. This is the key thing that we're looking at. So consistency is everything for me. It's getting a pattern, getting a routine that stays consistent over and over again. So we're going to do those 2 same routines, okay? Both routines, what we do, we come back here, we look down the line we want to go. If we're on the Jack Nicklaus mould, look in the blemishes of the grass. You might find something, slight discoloration in the grass. Think, right, that's going down my line. Then another spot 6 feet in front, and then the target in the distance. And when you watch Nicklaus, as I said, if you watch back at old footage, you'll see that head position consistently sort of looking. He'll be there, he'll put his eyes, you'll see his head tilt, he's checking it, he's making sure he's got that club face correct. He's building everything around the club. I think that's the important thing. We may not have mentioned that on the first shot, but everything needs to be built around the golf club, because that's what's going to hit the ball. And the shot that you're attempting to hit, whether that's a draw, a fade, a highlight, whatever you've decided to do, build everything around that and make sure you're aiming. But again, Nicklaus kept to that routine. So there's that sensation. Yeah, I'm aiming pretty much middle of the green here, club face. There's my point. There's my second point, then the target. Bring the body in again. As he's getting comfortable, he keeps checking with those points. His head would come up. From there, once he thinks, yeah, I'm happy with that, make the swing. Okay, and that's nicely on line where I want to go. Okay, got the result that we wanted. So that's Nicklaus's way of doing it. Okay, second method, I mean, that ball was dead on line to the flag. Second method is my method. I still come back here. I relate to where I want to go. For me, it makes the target smaller. That's how it works for me. Try both, see what works. Again, I'm relating to, I'm just going to go a little bit left of the flag, bringing myself in. My eyes are just focusing on that point, nothing else. Club, relate to that point. Bring my body in, relate to that point. Double check it all. Think, yeah, that's all good. Once I'm happy with that idea, think, yeah, that feels nice. Make the swing. And again, nicely flying towards the middle of the green. Very happy with that result. So we've shown you today how important the aim is, but we've also shown you 2 ways to do it. Give them both a go. You may be using one of them already, but the biggest thing is keep checking with your target at least 3 to 4 times when you're setting up to the shot. Don't get yourself into a position that you just sort of walk up, as we said, you just make a swing, generally look and play. Ultimately, you want to get that ball on the green. Ultimately, you want to get that ball in the hole. Think about the ultimate result you want. Make sure you're setting up with that good intention. And then once you're happy, commit to that shot. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's a bit of a follow-on from a video I put out about 3 weeks ago, which was talking about those 90% of shots, why we struggle, and it's all to do with that setup. Okay, get that in the right position makes a massive difference. Focus like a tour player, and you're going to have a lot more success. If you did enjoy the video, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, press that little bell so any video that I put out on Tuesday and a Friday gives you a notification that the next video is there to watch. Thank you.